Steve, how you doing, my friend?
Very good, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so I saw your I think it was an Insta post where you were talking about what was happening with the cloud seeding and you're from Idaho, you're a farmer, and my sister was out there and she told me about this company Rainmaker which is included into all that we're going to discuss. But what's your impression of what's going on, and where are you as far as your understanding of this geoengineering effort?
Well, what's really fortunate is I have all the information any person needs. And the most exciting news just happened about 20 minutes ago. I was just contacted by HHS, and they want me to help them draft a bill to present to all legislators in DC.
Wow. So
So
that
this is
that is huge news because you've been working with certain states to get them to outlaw this. I know Florida outlawed, and there's one more state, right, that banned it.
Yes, Tennessee did, but here's the problem. The problem
Hmm.
is in these bills, they don't write them correctly. So because the the issue is you must repeal your laws first in your state. And there's some of these laws, like where Louisiana messed up is they have a law that was put in 1958 and they
Hmm.
didn't repeal it. So
Hmm.
then you have this back and forth battle between, the people who want it and the people that don't want it. And so you have to repeal these laws first in the states. That's what's most important. I'm actually meeting with 3 senators from Louisiana in about 4 hours. So we're going to help them redo this. And HHS reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you help us draft something, a bill?" I said, "I already have it." So
Wow. So how did you get involved in all this? I mean, what started this for you? I mean, you're a farmer. Is that what happened? You just realized something's wrong?
well, now you're going to think I'm crazy, but in 1989, I was riding horseback in the flat top wilderness area, punching cattle for a couple of ranches. And I was sprayed by the military in 1989, and it put me on my deathbed for 7 years.
Holy cow.
Okay.
What what
To
what
the,
did it do to you?
well, I was in Mayo Clinic and I had some sort of blood disorder with a name they said they'd never seen before, some kind of disease from Africa or whatever. Now, if
Yeah.
you want to think about being a crazy person, and here's the facts. 9 months ago, it was conspiracy theory. Think about trying to convince people in 1990 that the military sprayed you. You talk
Yeah.
about get put a rubber room. So I've been in this stuff's been fishy for a long, 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 long time.
Well, so you're saying it's been going on at least 40 years approximately.
Actually, it dates back. They did this in World War II. I mean,
Yeah.
they use this Vietnam. I mean, this has been going on a long time. I mean, there's a weather modification bill in DC right now from 1971. Most people don't know this.
Well, I
It's
noticed that when all of this started coming out about Rainmaker, and we can talk about that in a minute, but the big tech Silicon Valley guys got really upset. I noticed them on X coming out and saying, "Look, you can't. This is anti-human. We have to be able to change the weather. We have to be able to save our crops and save and not and prevent deserts and all this stuff." I mean, what do you say to that argument?
Well, you can go back on my Instagram, Out of the Wild 3D, and you can see the videos I made where they burnt my trees. They killed blackberries, burnt the tops of my apple trees, turned green beans. I had about 2 acres of green beans that turned completely yellow. I mean, like,
Mhm.
we're dry up here. This was last year, but we're dry this time of year and we irrigate. So that my beans turn yellow. And I've been trying to say this for years and years and years. I've been watching this go on for years and try to convince people. And listen, the weather, they're not helping the farmers because it's rather bone dry or it's a flood. They're not getting
Mhm.
it right. Let's say they are doing it and they're trying to make a difference. Well, they're messing up because it's dumping
Mhm.
in Tennessee and I'm not getting anything here in Idaho.
Well, what do you think let's talk about that. What do you think the agenda is behind this? Like, well, let's even go far. What are they doing specifically that you know of, and why are they doing it? I guess is the question.
Well, weather modification, basically, if you control the weather, I mean, if you go back and look at presidents before, Lyndon Johnson said, "He who controls the weather controls the
Mhm.
world."
Mhm.
And if you control the world and if you control food, which, I went to, we can talk about this on another show, but I went to DC and presented my farm plan. RFK invited me to come there to present my
Mhm.
farm plan.
Mhm.
In my farm plan was to create 1 million brand new 40-acre farms. But number one in the farm plan is stop weather modification, because I've watched it in farming where it destroys. Like you get 13 inches of rain after you just plant a crop. I mean, it just turns your whole field into mud, and you basically, if you have time to start over, or it's so bone dry. And I can tell you this, the sun's different. I can tell by the way the plants look that they're not responding the same way. You know, they don't look the same. They don't look the dark, rich green like they used to. And the sun's white now, folks. Remember the Raisin Bran box, you know, had a yellow sun on it? Yeah, that's not around anymore.
Because the atmosphere is different? Is that why? Because they're putting stuff in the atmosphere?
It's called SRM. SRM is solar radiation management. It's where they put metal flakes in the air and then they shoot it with NexRad and DARPA towers, and those things. They change that. And so what I want to say is why are they doing this? I mean, are the people in your audience ready for the truth?
Yeah, they are. This is where we tell the truth.
Okay, then it's depopulation.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot. Yeah, because they're controlling the food, is what you're trying to say.
Well, right now we're importing 25% of our food, and 78% of the food in the grocery stores is processed. If China and Mexico and Brazil and Russia and all those guys decided to cut us off food, 25% of America would die this winter.
Americans probably think that we're the breadbasket. We have all these huge farms, and we feed the world. That's not true, is what you're saying.
It's not true.
Wow.
We lost 17,000 farms last year. And not only that, not only did we lose those farms, the increase, there's been 146% increase in foreign buyers buying farms since 2013. And, Brooke Rollins came out yesterday talking about how we're not going to let China buy farm ground. They already did buy it.
Yeah. It's kind of
already done.
Yeah. You're closing the barn after the horse left. So is that legislation going to be retroactive on all these farms as far as you know? I mean, I know they made a big press deal yesterday or the day before about how they're going to prevent it going forward, but what about what's already done, like you said?
Well, I'll tell you what happened is, and I'm working with Missouri right now, but Missouri did a great job. The Attorney General there took 40,000 acres of Chinese ground. Do y'all know this? That they took 40,000 acres that China owned in the state of Missouri?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so what happened is, if you go back, it's been several months back, but what the governor and the Attorney General did is they sued China for COVID damages for $9 billion.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. And they seized it before the damages. Yeah.
That's right. And so the thing that is, did China show up in court? No, they didn't. Did China pay the fine? No, they didn't. So what they did a foreclosure on their property. It's a great move.
Yeah.
And so, see, in my farm plan, like step 6 is to take all foreign ground in the United States and use it and put it back into agriculture for small farms. There are 120-acre farms. And my farm plan is a war plan. You have to use the military. So people will sign up in the military, or we bring back veterans that may be retired. If you're 17 to 70 and you got grit and you're in good shape and you can farm, then it puts these things back in. And my farm plan is based on the General Sherman's plan, that the 40 acres and a mule. And it's also based after like the Victory Gardens and the plan after World War II, where they gave military guys seed and equipment to farm. And so it's all that kind of combined. But also my farm plan, I have the processing centers already set up. I already have the guys that can build these and put these together. A lot of these are going to just retrofit old factories that are already in place now. And what's interesting is I went to DC. My guys called me a day before I got there and said, Steve, listen, tell Maha we have $500 million ready to roll.
Wow.
To do this on the processing side. And as of today, I have $2 billion. But you need $375 billion. So we're $373 billion short.
And you're talking the farms you're going to set up, the food needs to be processed or at least distributed. That's what you're talking about with those centers?
Yes. What the processing centers all will be set up. Every farm will be within 225 miles of these processing centers. And what the food will be, it'll be freeze dried, it'll be canned, or it'll be dehydrated. It'll be
Mm.
one of those three in these processes, and it'll be done within 48 hours of harvest.
Wow.
Same thing with milk, beef, pork. But the thing about these processing centers, and we're talking about my farm plan and a lot about agriculture, but this is how I got in this geoengineering. People say, well, how do I get in this? Well, not only was I sprayed in 1989, but I wrote that in my farm plan, because if you don't stop geoengineering your weather, there's no sense putting 1 million farms in.
And the reaction you didn't get a good reaction in DC from that when you first presented it, right?
Well, here's the problem. Everybody's excited about it, but it's just like this. I'm on your show because you have the power to invite me, and you have the power to let me from backstage to here. And the people that I'm talking to in Maha, I just need to talk to the people that have the power to flip the switch.
Yeah.
Who is the person that can turn the switch off of weather modification? That's who we need to talk to.
So I have a question you may not know, but obviously this is going on in other things like the processed food, and this is being engineered at some level, and it has to be within our government. Do you have any idea who that is? Is it DARPA? Is it, what is this? DOD?
I have every bit of it.
Wow.
Here's all of them. If you want to know where the money is in weather modification, here I'm gonna give you one that nobody knows. This one. This is a brand new, and everybody will write this one down. It's called the WMO. Ever heard of it?
No.
It's called the World Meteorological Organization. You know who funds it? The United States.
Wow.
You know who else is connected to it? The UN.
Yeah, I believe that.
Okay. And so what you have to realize is the reason I'm working on the federal level, but the states is where they win the game, because really and truthfully, if the governors and attorney generals and the senators and House representatives of your states, guys, all over the United States, if you guys will realize you have more power than the federal government, if you'll just do it constitutionally.
Yeah. And if the courts support you. Wow. So tell me, what is blue rain? I saw that a lot on the internet recently. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know what the blue rain is, but here the thing is, there are 49 different ingredients they can use.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is, so 2 weeks ago, as I'm working with Montana, 2 weeks ago, I had a rancher call me. He said, Steve, you won't believe this. He says it just snowed 2 feet at 6,000 feet. And I said, can you scoop it up? And he said, yes, I have a mason jar in my truck. So he got it. I'm going to have that snow sample tomorrow. But the scientists told me, and that snow sample is looked at by one of these. There's only 30 of these microscopes in the world. And Dr. Group, Global Health Healing, they allowed me to do that. They did this for me for free, because I'm going to use this sample to show them. But I talked to the scientists there, and what they said, Steve, we're not doing any more. We're going to do this for you because you're working with legislators to prove to them. They said, but we've had the fog tested in New York. We've had the fog tested in Florida. We've had water sent to us from Texas. We've had everything. You can imagine water samples from everywhere. They all test the same. It's all aluminum. It's all barium. It's all strontium. It's sulfur dioxide. And there'll be a few other things. They said, we are not going to spend any more time with that, because what they're doing now is looking at humans' blood with the nanotechnology in it. And that is part of the problem with this spray, is that it's a transhuman agenda. It's a weather control, food control system, and it's a depopulation. It's complete control. And we can win this if everybody will get in a fight.
And wake up and understand what's going on. So what do you think happened in Texas? Do you have any idea?
Well, yes, I have an idea. You're talking about, if everybody can just kind of think about this for a minute in their mind, Niagara Falls pushes 65 billion gallons a day. Y'all with me? 65 billion gallons a day goes over Niagara Falls every day. 120 billion gallons of water fell on July the 4th, one night. 120, double the amount of what goes over Niagara Falls. Now you tell me that that's normal. No, but because weather modification, and what I want to say to anybody that's in here that's going to, wants me to work with their legislators in their states, here's what you have to do. Okay, there is so much to this, folks. There's NextRad towers, there's microwaves, there's 6G coming. This stuff all works together to make the weather change. It all works. So here's the thing about this Augustus Dorico. What I believe is he's just a young kid, you know, that got $25 million. And one day he just accidentally met Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel thought he was the greatest young boy on the earth, and just put him in cloud seeding.
Yeah. That's with Rainmaker. He's the CEO of Rainmaker, right?
That's correct. He's the CEO of Rainmaker. And he himself, he said, yes, we cloud seeded July the 2nd. Well, if that was July the 2nd at 10 o'clock, that was 42 hours later it rained. Yeah. You know, I'm talking about rain like God's flooding the earth.
Yeah.
So, you know, and what I don't think he understands, one, he's immature. And I think he's probably a nice guy, nice kid.
Yeah.
But what I don't think he understands that he is, along with HARP and along with NextRad and along with whatever else they sprayed with planes you can't see and track. You know, that's why what I encourage your viewers to do is to start a clean or clear skies movement, a social media platform for your town. And then what you will do is you're going to go to Clear Skies Movement. You can go there, hashtag Clear Skies Movement, or you can go to Missouri Clean Skies. And these guys will get you all this information like this.
Your government doesn't care about you. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. It contains life-saving medications like ivermectin, Z-Pak, and antibiotics. Stock them before they block them.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
You'll get these pieces of paper. They'll show you how to understand that. We've got a brand new one out this morning, and it's the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations. Guess how much it costs to get a permit to seed in Texas? It's on here. It's weather modification license, $750. Is that funny? That's funny, isn't it?
So what I don't understand is, you know, they're changing our environment, which impacts our health, which impacts our families and our children. But I never agreed to this. I didn't even know about it. There's no informed consent. Is that in your legislation? I mean, how does this happen where the government just decides, okay, we're going to spray like bugs in a farm, the human population?
That's right. That's actually number 2 in my bill, because number 1 is repeal the laws that are in your state that have to do with this. Okay. Number 2, it's the protection part. It's the people of your state, whether you're in Montana, Missouri, Louisiana, the people of the state do not consent. And let me tell you what the most important word is that it's pollution. You must use the word pollution. You can't
It is pollution. Yeah.
It is pollution. You can't use chemtrails. You can't use sulfur dioxide. You can't stop using these terms of these 49 chemicals. So what? So what? I don't care what the 49 things are. I don't want anything. I don't even want dog urine sprayed over me from outer space. Okay. Don't spray anything over my state. And this, under this consent, is we, the people of our state, do not consent. And so what the bill does is then it goes into the protection part. So it's repeal, protection. That's number 2. And then the third one is prosecution. The states, Tennessee's bill has no prosecution. Florida's bill is so weak on prosecution. Vermont has a good bill coming out. Pennsylvania has a good bill, and Rhode Island. The problem is they have one thing missing. So in the prosecution side of this bill, I actually wrote the prosecution side for this bill that's going to be presented. And the prosecution is the pilot lands. And let me just say this too. Everybody says, oh gosh, you know, the state doesn't have power over up until 2,000 feet, and it's all, you know, federal after that. I don't care. I'm not talking about 2,000 feet. I'm talking about when the plane lands, bro. The plane's got to land. You get 26 states on board that have this law in where the pilot loses his license. He is arrested. He goes to jail for 2 years, or state jail or county jail, no parole. and he gets a $200,000 fine. Now, this could be a drone pilot as well. So when you do this on these levels, when you repeal the laws, put the protection in, I don't know anybody in any state that wants anything coming back out of the back of the airplane. I don't care if it's in the fuel. I don't care if it's in the coffee. I don't care where it is. I don't want nothing coming out of the back of that plane, but over the United States of America.
Wow, well said. Well, Ron DeSantis down in Florida, they made a big deal on this. We stopped geoengineering in Florida. Tell us, do you know anything about that bill?
Got a message yesterday. I got a message yesterday, said they're still spraying.
Wow, in Florida.
The bill is not strong enough in Florida, because here's what happens, and this is what you can't do. If you're going to report spraying in Florida, they have a 1-800 number. You know who it goes to? It goes to the EPA office.
In DC?
I don't know. I think it's on the EPA. I think it's the EPA of Florida, but they're connected to DC. I mean, it's nonsense.
Yeah. So Florida is not really doing anything, is what you're saying.
No.
Wow. What do people do? What besides get the Clear Skies movement going? What else can they do to be self-sufficient, and protect themselves going forward? Because this is life or death, right?
100%. And the thing about it is, I teach people. I have an online farm school, sas-usa.com, sas-usa.com. I have an online farm school, and I teach people how to grow food the old ways. Now, we've got to get this stopped. This stuff that they're putting out of the top of us, we just all have to say no. And that's the main thing. Now, I'm going to tell people in my school, I teach you how to grow your own food, butcher, can everything. I'm a 5th generation farmer, but I've been butchering and canning in food for forever. And we're not preppers. We've been doing this. It's been a lifestyle for us. And I'm just going to encourage people to grow the freshest food they can. That's one of the main things that they can do. And until we get this weather modification and that being number one in my farm plan, the reason it is number one is because there is nothing organic anymore in food. Nothing. When they're spraying aluminum over your fields, every day, there's nothing organic. So you just grow it the best you can. And I have sweet potatoes that are going to be tested by this lab too, within the next 30 days to see what's in them.
So I'm just curious. I mean, we're supposed to be Maha now, but the government is spraying us with poison. I mean, how do you reconcile those two? I mean, we have a new Trump administration, but we're still getting sprayed with poison. Why is this such a big fight, in your opinion?
Well, here's what I don't understand, because I said this to, I'm in the Maha Coalition. I meet with them pretty regularly. I said to them, wow, look at here. We got red dye number 3 and some sugar moved out of cereal, but it doesn't happen till 2027, but you're spraying me with aluminum. That's the thing.
Yeah.
How can you, I actually am about to make a video where I went and bought red Kool-Aid and I bought Doritos and red dyed donuts. And I actually was going to eat and drink all of them because that's my choice. If I want to eat donuts and weigh 400 pounds, fine. But I don't have a choice of this stuff sprayed over it. And I don't know, but I can tell you why it's not addressed, because there's money in 15 different departments. There's DOD, DOE, DOT, DOS. There's even money in the Smithsonian Institute, if you can imagine that.
And what is it? A climate change excuse? I mean, they're saving us from the sun. Is that what they're? 100%. What is the reasoning behind this? Yeah,
because the Earth is burning up, and we've increased 1 degree over the last 5 billion years, and so we've got to spray the planet in order to dim the sun to save us.
Wow.
Yeah, there's trillions. So there's trillions of dollars. When I started, the reason I moved back and started working harder at the state level is because when I found this out, that these 15 departments, see, one of them is NOAA, and that's under NASA. And see, NASA is funded for weather modification through 2027.
Wow.
And you can go and look this up, guys. If you're in Colorado, go look up your sunset law. You're funded till 2033. And so these things have been in place, and they're doing this, and they've been saying, they just say your conspiracy theory. And, I've been shadow banned. They destroyed Yeah, I mean, and one of the things too, I'm an expert mammal farm doctor. I mean, we
Mhm.
were too poor to take any animal to the vet, so we doctored ourselves, and I'm excellent at it. And I had a vet med company, and because I've spoken out on the things that are going on with ivermectin, because they were killing us as farmers, doing away with antibiotics, saying ivermectin's bad, all this stuff. They literally destroyed my company last year. They literally froze $77,000 on my online account, and I didn't have access to it.
What was the reason? What did they
Be-
excuse? I should say.
because because people were buying ivermectin to heal all mammals.
Yes, 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 yes. Gotcha. You got you got caught in all that.
I
Because
did.
they did that to a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That was,
unfortunately, it always seems like, because I've had 4 farms destroyed. So if you want to know how I can write a farm bill and how I know about weather modification, they sprayed me. I almost died in '89. I also had Jarvis Farm down there in Texas, and they killed me in my wife's side dairy business. They were completely out of the dairy business by '94, so we worked there. That's why they destroyed that part. We were the first range-fed pork farmers in Texas. I helped write the rules for organic meats for the state of Texas. Obama changed the rules and said you couldn't ship hogs through cattle barns anymore. So I was killed in the hog business. So we had also a blackberry pick your own. Fuel went to 478, middle class family. So the pick your own blackberry farm was over with. So what I did is I planted 7 acres of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, because I had 10 grocery stores I was shipping to in Dallas. And because of salmonella, the government said we couldn't ship tomatoes down interstate highway. Well, it was from my farm to Dallas was interstate. So I had to plow 7 acres of tomatoes under. So what we did is we went bigger and planted cucumbers and sweet potatoes, and we harvested 500,000 pounds a year of sweet potatoes and cucumbers. We were agriculturist year in 2010. And in 2011, we were out of business because Obama said that I couldn't ship to grocery stores direct anymore.
wow.
So if you want to know how I know all this stuff, because I've been killed in all those farming programs, and guess who was working with Rick Perry when all those farms died? Brooke Rollins.
Wow.
In
Wow.
Texas. So if you think Brooke Rollins is going to fix anything in agriculture, I tell you what, she doesn't need to be in the position she is, because she's not smart enough to be in the position she is.
Well, she's the one wanting to like bring all the illegals in and give them amnesty, right?
Well, here's the thing is, I tried to get clarity on that. I couldn't tell if she wanted to give them amnesty or she didn't, because the word was no amnesty. And I said, well, if you're going to do that, if you're talking about it in that way, she was unclear in how she said it. I said, well, if you're talking about it that way, that means you're going to go after all the farm workers. My daughter lives in Amarillo. I know a dairy barn there. They milk 20,000 cows. They bottle feed 40,000 baby calves every day, move their hutches every day. You take those half of their farm workers away, and it is over.
So that's I'm glad I got you on, because that's an issue I want to get clarity on. So what you just said, workers are needed. Do you not get enough legal workers, or do you need a work program? I mean, we have to do this legally, right? You can't just like bring in illegals to do this work. What's the answer in your opinion?
Okay, so the HB1 worker program has been established for years.
Yeah, yeah.
But let me tell you the problem with HB1. So with HB1, so let's say the worker gets to come here and he's signed up under this program and he's approved. He gets his green card. He comes in. He was going to work for 10 months. Okay. Do you know what the federal government does? So sweet potatoes start getting harvested in Texas about September the 15th. So you're halfway through with harvest, and the government picks the phone up and calls all the guys and says, we're picking you up tomorrow in the middle of harvest. It's time to go back home. So they ship, you can't make this stuff up. They ship people back home in the middle of harvest.
Why is that? Just because the way the rule's written?
Because nobody in Washington, D.C. knows how to grow a carrot. They don't know. Yeah. They don't understand when things are planted. They don't understand when time's the harvest. They don't understand this stuff. And different.
Well, there's a huge farm lobby. How can they not understand this?
Because the 2/3 of the farm bill is all about food stamps.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It's because big corporation And I'm going to tell you that there's so much there are so many fingers.
I want to have you back on a regular basis because I want to get this out there. By the way, do you have a podcast or anything that you do this on, or that you talk about all this?
I don't.
Well, I
Basically,
think we need to make one.
yeah, no. The thing about it is, I see. I live in the middle of nowhere, so I have 26,000 acres in my backyard, and I'm doing this through Starlink and an iPad, and the issue is, I'm trying to farm. I spend about 7 hours a day, talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to do is talk to the people who have the power to turn these things off or on, whatever we need. But the people must have hope. And I'm here to tell you, I was on my deathbed. I've been shut down 4 different times. I'm 57 years old. I'm out of debt. I own my stuff, and I have a great dog business. But that's really how I survived. Is I sell Vizsla hunting dogs, and I have some of the Vizsla, Steve Jarvis Vizslas. You can go that, but they have shadow banned my page so bad on that business. That's one of my last. So I farm. I have my dog business, and then I speak at different places, and I do a lot of different podcasts for other people. But the issue is I have all the information anyone needs to get in, and you got to get in this fight. You've got to.
Well, the way you get the people who have the power to flip the switch is you public media pressure. This is what I've learned. Like we're active in Georgia, we're active in Florida with our local papers there, and they don't like any independent media because just a little bit of media accountability really drives them up the wall. So I want to have you back on maybe once a month or something and just talk about these issues because this is so important. So people need to start their Clear Skies movement. They need to start farming. Anything else they need to do right now to get involved in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, one of the things that can help me out, if you go to sas-usa.com, I have an online farm school. It's broken. It's different. People can purchase stuff there. You can do. So I'm the only farmer left. They're all died and all in the bone pile. That I'm the only farmer left that writes his own moon phase calendar. This is something that the Rothschilds knocked out in America that they didn't allow people to learn. And so my moon phase calendar looks like this. And what's interesting, even if you're not a farmer, July the 10th, which is coming up really quick, July the 10th is a great time. It goes into a new moon. And so, like, if you want to quit smoking or go on a diet, you can use this calendar to say, because the way the moon phases and the signs of the zodiac work, that it helps. Like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wean pigs on July the 10th. And the reason is because the way the phases are, that pig will wean off easier. So if you want to change something in your life, it's a good time. It's actually the best time of the year is July the 10th, to start July the 10th. And then your body won't suffer as bad if you're trying to quit, smoking or eating too much, whatever you want to quit.
Wow. Such good advice. Well, Steve, anything else you want to get out to people before I let you go here?
Yeah, the thing about it is, just follow me on Outlaw 3D. Check out my dog page, hashtag Steve Jarvis Vizslas. That's very important. I've been killed so much. I should have about 3 million followers on IG, but I've been turned off about. Well, they took down and froze 15 websites of mine last year.
Last year
alone.
So what did they do? Take away the domains, or what did they do?
Froze them.
Really?
Yeah.
From the government, like for criminal activity, or what was their excuse?
Misinformation.
Really?
Yeah. And the thing about it is, I'm banned on YouTube for life.
Yeah, I know. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So stay in the fight, folks. And listen, also too, if you, I've got a book on joy. This book is important for you to have right now. You need some joy in your life, because if you focus on all this stuff too much, it's hard on you.
It is. It is. Yeah.
And that book will be free. The book is free. It'll be a PDF on my sas-usa.com. That'll be on there in the next few days, and you can download it for free.
Wow. Thank you much, my friend. We'll have you back. Take care.